Welcome friends, good morning to all of you. So in our previous lecture we have started a topic microbiology of milk. So in that we have started milk-borne diseases. So in previous lecture we have seen that how pathogens enter into the milk and milk related products as well as processes and what are the main sources from which these microbes they get entered into this milk as well as milk processing system. So in this particular lecture we're going to see different diseases that are caused by milk, and these are known as milk-borne diseases. So in this lecture we're going to study in much more details. So investigation of milk-borne diseases. So there exists a systematic monitoring and surveillance system to investigate the causes of foodborne illness in developed countries, but there is lack of adequate investigating system in developing countries, and as a result no follow-up action is taken to avoid recurrence. So obviously developed countries are much more advanced in all respects. So generally gastrointestinal disorders are perhaps the greatest single cause of microbial morbidity in developing countries. Okay. So for investigation of an outbreak, the following steps are to be followed. So one should know a detailed description of gastrointestinal causes. Gastrointestinal cases should be made. Okay, so there should be detailed description of gastrointestinal cases. A record of food eaten and common source of infection should be identified if large number of individuals are involved. Okay, then history of previous illness of personal handling milk should be tracked. Evidences of enteric disorders, scratches, wounds, sores, pyogenic infections and other evidences of sepsis should be looked for. Swabs should be taken. Sanitary facilities and practices used in plant should be recorded. A detailed veterinary record of animals should be obtained with particular attention to recent cases of mastitis. Then people pooled milk samples from one or several animals should be taken aseptically, immediately cooled and held cool until delivered for examination. So after identification of the suspected animals carrying the causative microorganisms, the individual samples should be obtained. So these are some investigation factors that are used for studying an outbreak of milk-borne diseases. Okay. So diseases from animal to man and milk to man. Okay. So in that we're going to study tuberculosis, one of the most important diseases. Okay. So the causative agent of tuberculosis is Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Okay. So tuberculosis is basically infection of lungs. Okay, and it is a very deadly infection, and Mycobacterium tuberculosis is the causative agent, and there is no specific chemotherapy. Okay, there is no specific therapy. Yeah, there are some drugs. They work on that Mycobacterium tuberculosis, but there are some strains of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. They are drug resistance, and that is known as drug resistance strains of tuberculosis. So Mycobacterium tuberculosis is a very deadly disease. So German physician Robert Koch in 1943 revealed the microorganisms, that is Mycobacterium tuberculosis, from contaminated raw milk and its role in infant mortality. Okay, so Koch was the first man who studied the role of Mycobacterium tuberculosis in manifestation of diseases like TB, and he was the first to isolate also the Mycobacterium tuberculosis from contaminated raw milk. So Koch also reported the another strain of Mycobacterium bovis that was responsible for tuberculosis in cows, and that it was species specific and believed that cow strain should not infect humans. Okay, so milk-borne tuberculosis is directly or indirectly related to consumption of raw milk from infected dairy hands. So the tuberculosis traceable to raw milk was the result of external contamination or lesions in the udders of cows racked with bovine tuberculosis. So the milk buckets too, they were easily contaminated by workers. So these are the sources from which the Mycobacterium tuberculosis it get infected to animals and handler, or they get entered into milk and milk related products. So there are two types of tuberculosis: pulmonary and non-pulmonary type. Pulmonary is caused by human type microorganisms that affects mainly respiratory tract, and bovine type bacillus causes non-pulmonary tuberculosis. Okay, so there are two types of tuberculosis are present, that is pulmonary and non-pulmonary. Okay, so tuberculosis of cattle is produced by Mycobacterium bovis. So the tuberculosis in cattle, so this is mainly caused by Mycobacterium bovis, and in case of humans, the tuberculosis in humans it is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So avian type of microorganisms may cause both type of tuberculosis. So these are the respective bacteria and their host. Okay, so Mycobacterium tuberculosis they affect human, then Mycobacterium bovis it affects cattle as well as both human, and Mycobacterium avians they affects birds, swines, but they affects rarely to human. So human type tuberculosis bacilli may gain access to milk from milker and other handlers. So milkers, the persons who draws milk from the cattle or milking animals is the main source from which the Mycobacterium tuberculosis will get entered into milk. And again there are some other sources like environment, open air, the Mycobacterium tuberculosis it may enter through that open air. So it causes human type tuberculosis in cattle, and this cannot be immediately noticed but may be given tuberculosis negative test, but after 2 to 3 months the test will be positive. So such a suspected animals are usually held under observation and tested periodically. If the reaction disappears, this restored to their normal status in herd, and such a cattle may excrete bacilli in their milk from apparently normal odors. Okay. So milk animals other than cattle are also affected with tuberculosis, mainly by bovine type. Buffaloes and goats are less frequently affected by tuberculosis. So bovine type infection in man appears to be practically non-existent. So in spite of considerable proportion of cow being affected, it may be mainly attributed to habit of boiling milk before consumption. So sour milk may kill human and bovine tuberculosis bacilli within 18 to 24 hours. So avian type tuberculosis bacilli also causes animal infection in cattle. Then human infection with avian type bacilli is quite rare. So what are the symptoms? So tuberculosis is mainly characterized by honest parenchymal pulmonary infiltration of that is recognized by X-ray studies. Then pleurisy followed by advanced stage in accompanied by cough, fever, fatigue, weight loss. So coughing, fever, frequent fevering especially at night, and then fatigue, weight loss. So these are the main symptoms of tuberculosis. So its incubation period is 4 to 6 weeks from infection to demonstrable primary lesions. So basically this is in humans the tuberculosis affects lungs, okay, the main respiratory organ in our body, and it leads to parenchymal pulmonary infiltration. Okay, and one can diagnose there are different tests like blood test, and simply by X-ray you can examine the patches of the tuberculosis. So X-ray studies and other blood studies. So these are tests that we can use for diagnosis of tuberculosis. So how to prevent and control this particular tuberculosis diseases? So animals should be subjected to tuberculin test. So there should be regular test of animals for its tuberculosis, positive or negative, and this test is known as tuberculin test. So animals should be regularly tested for these particular diseases. Then animals suffering with tuberculosis should be isolated. Okay, so if you found some animals affected with tuberculosis, so you avoid milking from this such kind of infected animals. Proper heat treatment of milk and traditional habit of boiling every lot of milk before consumption in India is good. So you should heat. It is common practices that is carried in all houses, that after taking milk, raw milk, first it is pasteurized through boiling process. So it is very good practices that is carried out in all houses. So overcrowding of animals must be avoided and living conditions must be improved. Okay, so tuberculosis patient should be prohibited from handling cattle as well as milk. So the handler is the persons who handles all this process of milking as well as processing. So the persons who are infected with this Mycobacterium tuberculosis, so they should be avoided to do all these operations and all this type of work. Okay, so proper disinfection should be followed. So proper sterile condition and disinfection should be done to reduce the impact of this tuberculosis. So these are preventive measures and controlling measures. Then next disease is brucellosis. So it is one of the most common milk-borne diseases, and brucellosis it's also called as Banks disease. So Crimean fever, then Gibraltar fever, then Malta fever, then Maltese fever, then Mediterranean fever, rock fever, and adult fever. So all these are the different types of brucellosis. Is a highly contagious zoonosis. Zoonosis means it is transferred by animals and caused by ingestion of unsterilized milk or meat from infected animals or close contact with their secretions. Okay, so it is this brucellosis is basically caused by Brucellus abortus or Brucellus species microorganisms. So these are small gram-negative, non-motile, non-spore forming rod-shaped bacteria, especially they are rod-like, somewhat means Coccobacillus type bacteria, and this function as a facultative intracellular parasite causing chronic diseases that usually persist for life. So symptoms include profuse sweating and joint as well as muscle pain. Okay, so Malta fever, the disease now called brucellosis, first came to attention in 1850s in Malta during Crimean War, and in cattle this disease is also known as contagious abortion and infectious abortion. So brucellosis is again the important disease that is caused by milk. Okay, and it is caused by Brucellus species. Okay, so the popular name undulate fever originates from characteristic undulance, okay, or wave-like nature of fever that rises and falls over week in untreated patients. So in 20th century, this name along with brucellosis gradually replaced the 19th century names, and it is basically known as Mediterranean fever and Malta fever. So brucellosis in humans is usually associated with consumption of unpasteurized milk and soft cheese made from milk infected with animals, primarily with Brucella melintitis. So basically the brucellosis disease is caused by consuming raw milks. If it is not get properly pasteurized or it not get treated, so it leads to manifestation of brucellosis. So and it is primarily caused by Brucella melitei. With the occupational exposure of workers, veterinarians and slaughterhouse workers, some vaccines used in livestock, Brucella abortus also cause diseases in humans. So if accidentally injected, brucellosis induces fevers, sweatings, weakness, anemia, headache, then depression and muscular as well as body pain. So these are again symptoms, different symptoms. So the main symptoms are like muscular pain, then sweating, and duration of disease can vary from few weeks to months or in years. So this disease is very severe, just like Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So blood test, the first stage of disease, that is septicemia, occurs and leads to adult fevers. Okay, then followed by fevers, it causes sweating and migratory arthalgia, that is pain in joints. So blood test characteristically revealed leukemia and anemia. So these are the cancers of blood that may induced by brucellosis, and demonstrative positive Bengal rose Hudson cell reaction. So during episodes of Malta fever, melitococemia, presence of brucella in blood can cause usually be demonstrated by means of blood culture in tryptose medium. So you can also isolate these causative agents, that is brucella species bacteria, by culturing in tryptose medium. So if untreated, the disease can become chronic, and the focalization of brucellosis occurs usually in bones and joints, and spondylitis of lumbar in spine accompanied by sacroiliitis in very characteristic of these diseases. So next, diagnosis of brucellosis. So how we can diagnose this brucellosis? So blood cultures in tryptose broth, bone marrow cultures, the growth of brucella is extremely slow, and the cultures poses risk to lab personnel due to high infectivity of brucella. So culturing is the one method from which we can identify which species of brucella is present in that particular infected person, but still it is very risky that handler of all these processes, it may be cause or it may get infected with this brucella bacteria. So demonstration of antibodies against agent either with ELISA or 2 mercaptophenol assay for IgM antibodies is the another method for identification of this brucellosis. Then histologic evidences of granulomatous hepatitis, then preferential erosion of anterior superior corner of lumbar vertebrae and marked osteoporosis are suspicious of brucella spondylitis. Okay, so these are all diagnostic methods. Then how to prevent and control this particular diseases, brucellosis. So segregation of infected herd to avoid cross infection, and if possible infected animals should be slaughtered. So those animals who get infected with this brucellosis, they may, if not treated properly, so it is better if they get slaughtered, means they should kill. Herds should be properly vaccinated, so adequate heat treatment should be given to milk for destruction of causative microbial agents. So it is obvious that to avoid all this milk-borne illness or milk-borne infections, we should properly pasteurize milk before its consumption. Okay, so in next lecture we will study another diseases. Okay, thank you.